Hi guys, welcome back to Trash It. So on today's episode of Trash It, we've got Jude, we've got Ajike, we've got Yuri, and we've got African Jagwajantics. Okay, so the topic we'll be trashing today is I don't know if to say most Nigerians all over the world, right, may have seen this, maybe not. Okay, but if you haven't seen it, you're hearing it for the first time, perhaps on this show. Now, a few weeks ago, Obi Cubana, which we most of us know, okay, had the funeral for his mother, okay, and I mean, this was a funeral. It was a talk of the town. Everybody was going for this funeral. Most of the celebrities in Nigeria were going for this funeral, and even non-celebrities were attending the funeral. And this funeral took place in Oba, in Anambra State. So we've all seen the videos on social media that was circulating a few weeks ago and even up until now, and how there was the display of money. People were just throwing money in the air, and people, the indigents of the community where this funeral took place, were rushing to pick money and all sorts of things. Now, since that funeral, a lot of people have come for Obi Kubana to say, come on now, you shouldn't have done that. And even for the people that came for the funeral to say, people that were spraying money, to say that he shouldn't have done that. It was not very nice how they were allowing people to scramble for money. The different artists, the video, Fino, the band, and lots more were all there and they performed at the ceremony. So I'm going to come to everyone in the panel because as Nigerians, we all have our prejudices or what we think about things like that. Some people have said it's okay, it's his money, it's his friends. They were supporting him because he's a very supportive person. So they were kindly returning the gesture. And other people were saying, no, it's not the best way to do things. The road is not tarred. He could have done that. He could have built schools. He could have built hospitals. And other people were like, hold on, he's not the governor of the state. So why does he have to do all of that? So I'm going to come to everyone on the panel and just let us know what you think about everything that happened in Oba in Anambra State in Nigeria. So I'm going to come to you, Mr. Jagrodantix, first. What was your take on that? How did you see that
So,
funeral?
well, first of all, it wasn't the talk of the town, it was the talk of the world.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know. So, secondly, we have to understand that he was just doing a celebration. People were coming with their money to spray it, to throw it. If you're trying to do a birthday party now and none of us are planning something behind you, we can show up with 50 cows, 20 cows. You,
Mm.
it is not your doing realistically. It is the group of friends, who have suffered together, benefited together, come rich together. That's what they want us to believe. Because he himself, I don't think he himself was the one throwing money like this, but the people who turned up. So there is a law in Nigeria that says we should not disrespect money, either spraying or throwing at parties and stuff. That is the only place they will be labeled as criminal. Now, the source of this money, let us all understand that there are so many levels to it. One of it is what we're seeing with Hush Puppy and Abakiari now. You know, when you see some sort of politicians turning up at some level of parties, what is the link? What relationship do we have together? Are we are we doing campaign together? Are we doing real estate business together? Or at what level? Then you start thinking there is levels to money laundering, you know. So it's like the business I do on the side. Anybody can approach me in Lagos. We need 150,000 in UK. All of you bring in pounds, I'll be gathering it together. They pay the money into my account in Nigeria. I release your pounds to them. That money in Nigeria is what I'll use to pay all of you. And in the end, everybody will be smiling. You know, I'm not saying I'm into money laundering, no. I'm just using that as an example.
Example.
So it's
So,
like it's like an avenue for washing the money, though, isn't it?
exactly.
Bringing it
So,
back.
when you have entertainment
Nonsense.
business, you guys need to go and watch Ozark. It's the same.
Hmm.
Anyone who has seen Ozark, the series,
Yeah.
is the same. The game is the same. You have entertainment business, either nightclubs, cinemas, casinos. That's the way to wash the money. So I can say, oh, I'm getting franchise. from Italy, from Spain, from everywhere. It is okay. How much is the franchise? How many bottles are you selling? Is it structured the same way it is structured in Europe, whereby if things are coming into your business, it is transparent. Either you want it to be like that or not. There is ledger. There is a list of the number of consignment coming in, and now it is going out. We do that here as well. Anyone doing self-employed business, we know how we calculate our
off the mic, off the mic, off the mic.
So I don't want to go into details, but I'm sure right now you're understanding the link between politicians and all these boys and money and why things are looking the way it is.
Okay, so Mr. Jabojantis, are you in any way sort of insinuating that there was a lot of money laundering that went on during that funeral with all the display of money and the money that was being sprayed on Obi Cubana?
Not during the funeral. Anything could have happened years and years before the funeral. The funeral is just a party. Let us go there and flex. But where are this money coming from? From different guys who claim to be in entertainment industry. Not all of them sing. We know the condition of things for the past few years. There has been COVID, a lot of business, have shut down, and some people are thriving. But let us be realistic. What is the business? Can all this business be transparent? Like it is in the Western world. Okay. Can you realistically sit down and take us through your business? If you go to Virgin Media, they can take you through their profit making, what went in, what went out, how we arrived at this place, what we've been able to achieve this year. They can take you through that. Can any of these guys sit the FCA? I don't know if they have Financial Conduct Authority in Nigeria.
They would have.
So can they sit down? Can they sit the same way any business in this part of the world can sit down with Financial Conduct Authority and say, this is what we did this year, this is how it came in, this is what we utilized, this is outgoings, this is contingencies, this is profits, this is salary, this is that, this is that, this is tax. Can they do it? Obviously not. They can't. They can't. So unless we want to be in denial. Okay. So let me stop here before I blow you.
Thank you, Mr. Jabojantis. Yori, let me come to you. What do you think? A lot of people are saying, don't come for Obi Cubana. He's not your governor. He's just doing what he could do for his mother. What do you think? Do you think he did the right thing? And let's not forget how when people were spraying, some of the artists that were coming in, for example, Zubi Michael, when he came into the funeral ground, he ran in and he threw money and people were running to pick the money up from the ground. Was that condescending to those people that were having to do that? They could have just asked them to line up and give them a bundle each. Couldn't they have done that?
Do you know what, Celia? I wish they did that. But there are two sides to this thing. Obi does not owe anyone any explanation how he chooses to spend his money. But as a businessman, he needs to be insightful. Recently I did a course on financial crime, and that opened my eyes to how you can make yourself something called a person of interest. What he has done is made himself a person of interest to not just security system within Nigeria, but we're talking about FBI, Interpol. Now, you need to remind yourself or remind ourselves of something. Our reputation outside Nigeria is not good. They assume the way we live our lifestyle, we're very lousy, we're very loud, very careful with the way they're saying. We come across as people that don't have genuine source of income because all of us work. I can't go to work 9 to 5. Maybe I don't have the kind of money that they have. Even if I do, I don't see how I will think a waste. To me, it's very wasteful. I understand the woman has died. It's not as if she's doing birthday. Do you understand? Now, without comparing or contrasting, Mike Adenuga also celebrated his mom's transition a few years ago. And what the guy did was to look at the streets in Ijebu that were not tarred. And you can say, I'm not government, but you have money. You have the resources. You can use it as your tax break and do something insightful back into your community. You could have built a school as legacy. Education is key. Sometimes some people are educated illiterates. This guy, I just felt it was wasteful. Jagbadansi said, oh, my friends, show me your friends and I know who you are. Oh, you can't come and spend money at Obi Kubana's party without thinking that he's going to reciprocate what you've done. It is wasteful.
Of course.
There were people that were hurt at that party where they were trying to run and go, there was stampede, trying to get money. There's abject poverty in Oba community. I've not seen anything he has done. Look, he has the right to spend
to oppress his people, basically.
Exactly. He has the right to celebrate his mom's transition how best he can. But there's a good side and there's a bad side. He could have come out and be like, I'm spending money, but I'm going to sink borehole here. I'm going to. He has the money. You're meant to impact on your community. I see it as a wasteful thing. The Yoruba in me that likes Owambe, trust me, even my mother that is in Akure was like, we're not, but this weekend, everybody and their ghosts. Yes, everybody and their ghosts that weekend was on social media. But let's be objective. We as Nigerians need to change the way we celebrate things. That was for me too much and too loud.
Extremely loud.
Can I just say, Yuri, with what you've just said, right? I know there was something that came out where people said that he was going to I think he has announced, or he said he was going to give up to 300 youth in his community ₦1 million each. Is that true? Isn't that, if it is true, isn't that him giving back to the community and doing something for the community?
Well, I haven't heard that. Okay. I've not seen anything that said he has done that. If he had done that prior to this party, there will be like noise. Do you understand? He will go, like, trust me, even me, I will carry placard and be like, he's done well. But if you come and be like, okay, celebrating my mother, before I come to this showcase of nonsense, that 300 people or 3,000 people have decided to, he doesn't have to. Celia, is his money. I respect that. But now we're saying as Nigerians, we need to do better. We can't rely on government anymore. You have the wherewithal, you have the money. Impact your society. It makes it even difficult for anybody to speak ill against you if your community is strongly behind you.
Okay, thank you for that, Yuri. Jude, let me come to you. I know you lost your mom a few years ago, Jude, and I know how much you love your mom. You haven't, you've always said it on the show. If you were in Obi Kubana's position, would you have done what he did if you had the means and the finances and you had friends that could do things like that? Would this be something that you would welcome at your mother's funeral?
It is possible, but again, it comes to the question about nurture and nature. I didn't grow up with those sort of influences. There's abject poverty, like Yuri said, in Oba. There's abject poverty in every corner and facet of Nigeria. There's abject poverty where I live in London. There's abject poverty next to White House. There are homeless people everywhere. So Obi Kubana is not the reason for abject poverty, and he's got no obligation to eradicate abject poverty in his domain. Having said that, though, I grew up and I lived next to, I'm talking millionaires, the Akim Bello Osaigis, the Chief Frank Giwa Osaigis. I lived on the same street with them. These are the guys who own First Discount House. We're talking about guys who own banks before the Elumelus even came out. These are guys that I aspired to, that I was looking up to, like, wow, big boys. When Chief Frank Giwa Osaigi died on my street, I think a vice president was in attendance. His first son was a gynecologist, or how do you pronounce that? So the man is was the doctor for Maryam Babangida, and most presidents' wife. So I'm talking power. Awolowo was on that street one time visiting him before he died. I was a kid. These guys, when they had parties, whether it was birthdays, marriages and all, the children grew up with my mom. So on that level, they're friends. So they gave access to my mom to come to their parties. But we on the streets were nobody. So we would scavenge for food and for drinks. If we knew anybody in the house, as young boys, we would go there and hang around for a bottle of Hap or Meta, as it were. But we would look at these guys, cars upon cars would drive past. I'm talking big boys from the Southwest, from Abuja. We would just be there looking, wow, look at their skin clean. So all of these were there. But these were really, really sophisticated aristocrats. I'm talking Ojukwu was even there one time. These are not guys who would do all of this, So King Sunny Ade was the first time I saw him. It was them who invited him. Shina Peters was their favorite go-to musician. So I saw these guys on my own street. So this is extravagance and so much money, and this is poverty in my own land, my own compound. So that happened. But Obi Kubana is not the first of his kind. It's just it's like the last line of his kind. I don't know if you guys know about Ungude or Emeka Eziogo. These were astronomical billionaires. They did worse than Obi Kubana. So Obi Kubana have grown under the influence of all of that. If you don't know the Southeast, know today. This is how they do things. I know, look, the first time I saw a Lamborghini was driven by an Igbo man on a road where we have no road, absolutely. The road could even just melt under the pressure of Lamborghini, but he still drove his Lamborghini. So this is just along the line. LB is a small boy compared to what's happened. What is this guy? This guy whose song just came out of Big Brother. I don't know if anyone can remind me yet.
Oh,
Kid Wire. Yeah.
Terry Wire.
Jerry
When
Wire.
they lock Igbeneghu just became governor. I followed these people because I used to read Ovation, and I used to follow these people, the Agbolas, Abiola, the Kola Abiolas, the Aliko Dangotes, the Kotagoras children, those young aristocrat billionaires from North who did things. Don't forget, these guys lived extravagantly too, but there was no social media there to put it on our face. Except you were physically present, you won't see any of this, but we saw all of this. When that guy did his 40th birthday, I'm 43 now, for Christ's sake. When that guy did his 40th birthday, I'm pretty sure the whole 36 state governors were present in London. The same question that African Jagbajantis asked was what I asked at the time. For this young man to have the class to move Senate presidents and governors of Nigeria to London to celebrate, there was a link. And it came out, there was links. It was moving weight and kilos for them, whether it was dollars or pounds. So Obi Kubana, again, he must have been influenced by all of this growing up in that areas of Nigeria. So then he would then live like that. I didn't grow up in that sort of thing. If I hadn't, like, I don't have much money, but when my mom died, when my elder brother started cutting the different money for everybody, when my younger sibling said we don't have, I turned up and I said, I'll pay for everybody. So you can describe that as being Obi Kubana of the family. I wasn't showing off, but I was taking the stress off my younger ones. They will come to me, I'm like, don't worry about it. I've given your share of it to that. I've paid for that. I've paid for that because I had it. I had to take that responsibility on me. So Obi Kubana, it's got the money. It's got to show up. Again, don't forget, it's in the entertainment business. I don't want to know where the source of money comes from. That's another discussion. You know, issues that I had with the thing was when I saw Abakari there, he took a picture with me. I was like, immediately I commented. I was like, with people, I don't know if anybody saw it on Thursday, with people like Bakari standing next to Obi, you can see why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's ambition is never going to work. That was where I stopped it, because now, I'm not saying don't have a friendship with public officers. My problem with that is always accountability. And I've queried it when the Ooni of Ife have police carrying bags for him and his wife. I queried it. Why would the police officer who will pay the salary for, through taxpayers' money, be carrying bags for a local king, whether Ooni or no, I don't care. Because if the Ooni shot somebody in his presence, would that police officer be able to arrest the Ooni? No, because you're already carrying his bag. You're his lapdog. That was the only concerns I had with Obi Kubana posing with this guy. I'm not saying don't have friends with them, but I'm talking about accountability. And now with hindsight, we see what Abakari has done for Hush Puppy. So
we'll go into that on another topic.
So in a nutshell, I really don't have any issues with him. How they came about their money, but something interesting that you already spoke about, and this is key. You become a person of interest. Those who don't have eyes on you, man, they have eyes on you now. That who is this guy? That's the same way we had eyes on Terry Wire after his 40th birthday, and nobody heard about him again until his son came to Big Brother. So he's been in exile. This is what they don't learn from. I'm not saying people don't do it abroad. Indians do it, but the way those guys do it, they invest in gold and jewelries, and it's kind of legit. Going to what Africa Jagbajantis was trying to explain. They can prove this or that. Even the Queen has offshore account, which is fraudulent according to laws of the world. But she's got account in Bermuda, the Queen of England. When the WikiLeaks paper came out, she was part of it. The elite in this country, from Rooney to all the musicians, they all have money. Phil Collins took off from this country, so he wouldn't pay tax. But we can track where the source of income comes. But in places like Nigeria, where you can compare it to Equatorial Guinea, where the son of the president who's seen the vice president, the money. So you can see where the question of integrity is. But it's become a person of interest. If Hush Puppy wasn't showing Richard Mills' wristwatch on Instagram, Hush Puppy would still be living very well in Dubai. Not saying I agree with what he did or whatever his ways was, but with Obi Kubana's show of wealth, I have no problem with that. It's his own business. If he's become a person of interest, Jagbajantis said something. The onus and the burden is not on Obi and his friends to prove to anybody that their source of income is got through this means or the means. We've got the agencies. Let them do their work. If they suspect it. Simple.
Okay. Thanks, Jude. I remember, was it last year or the year before? Cubana chief priest, who's like, 5 and 6 with Obi Cubana. He was under investigation by the AFCC, and I think he was actually arrested, and they had to, because they wanted to know his source of income and the business he does and all those sort of things. But not long after, anyway, he was released as well. Ajike, I mean, you've heard everything everybody has said. Let me come to you. What do you think? Because I just feel, though, like, do you guys not think that the whole ethos of the funeral was to pay the last respect to the mom, right? And then all of a sudden it becomes this public affair where the prostitutes in Nigeria now believe, or the Oloshos now believe that, oh, we need to go and make money that weekend. And I'm sure you guys must have seen the video from Kanayo and Alexa Kubo saying that if your girlfriends have told you they're going home for the weekend, they are all here or they're here, and other very provoking things that he said. And I think he got trolled for that because it was inappropriate. But Ajike, do you not think that the whole respect thing and everything was sort of removed from the mom being the one who had passed, and she's supposed to be the one that was the center of attraction, but then it was just removed from her, and it was now on all these people who came with Louis Vuitton bags and trucks of money?
Personally, I believe that anybody that has died, I don't really believe in all this remembrance, burial, all those things. Bury the person whichever we want to bury the person, cremation, burial. I'm not big on burials. I don't like it. But there are some people that okay, because of maybe the office they hold or the kind of person they were in life, you can't just bury them like that, so you can't just do anything like that. But like Jude had said earlier, Jude had answered this question really. It's really just is how they were brought up, or maybe how this is in Yoruba. That's just who he is. Because another rich person the mother would die, they would have a very nice, classy burial, and it will still be on this scale, on this grand scale. But you will not see Olosho there. You will not see them throwing money. So it just goes to speak to the person that he is. It just goes to speak to the person that he is. That's what he wanted. That's how he wanted it. It's not because he could have told his friends. So like me, if I'm doing my birthday, I will put it on WhatsApp. Don't bring banana to my house. Give me the banana money. Don't bring cake to my house. I bought cake. Give me my cake. So my friends already know. All the people around me, they know. If you are very close to me, you will know. You can't bring banana to my house. I will drive the banana. You will not pay me that money, pay that banana back. So I've already, so it goes to show that they know that that's what he likes. That's what he wants. That's how he is. Yeah, so it's just class. That's how to them, that's how class is. And this thing about this thing they call class is a funny thing. Somebody will like it like that. To the person, if you have not done something like that, you don't have class. It's just the same thing with jewelry. Some people, if you've not worn gold that is heavy like this, that you doing your ear wanna come out. And you have not worn gold. And somebody, this small earring and wear, if you put it on that thing that there isn't to wear the gold,
it will
you yourself, you will fear. You will fear. So it's just everybody just has a way of, but the truth of the matter is that his friends knew him. They knew that was what he would like, because the other people that will tell you, no, don't give me the money. Or okay, just like Yuri said, okay, let's do borehole, let's do road, let's build school. Or just give me my money, let me bring my money in my account.
I'll just do a trust. Support me with this. I'm doing this for my community.
There are people that do that now. My grandmother passed away. My uncle did the borehole somewhere in one Asian country, somewhere. Or one Middle East country. But I'm sure it's his friends. He said, okay, this is what I want. Maybe those people put up something and he saw it. And even in the mosque, I remember my grandmother is Muslim. When they buried her, because we didn't take her body with just wood. So we bought a coffin, but they didn't bury her with the coffin. So they donated the coffin back to the mosque. Okay, anybody that dies, using it to carry them, to bury. There are different ways of doing this thing. I don't know.
See, in a way, when I look at how the Muslims are buried, in a way, I just kind of think, it's nice and simple. It's all about the person. Because I remember when my grandfather was buried, he died today. And I think the very next day, or if not that same day, they were already wrapping him up in a white cloth and they were putting him in a very basic coffin and putting him in the ground because he was a Muslim. And there was and then obviously
it's not really about Muslim. I think it's just about what you want, how you want it and what you tell people. I have uncles that have told us that, please, when I die, just make sure I'm properly dead. You can just hang on for a few hours to be sure that I will not wake up later. Once you have seen that everything's okay, please just, in fact, just do for no clothes, wrap it, and we are Christians. So it's just really what you want.
I mean, the reason I mentioned Muslim is because in the Islam community, they don't really, they're not very big on, oh, you have to go and get a gold casket, or you have to go and get the biggest grave, or they just do it very simple and put you in the ground. I saw a video of, maybe they're Christians that do that, but I know most of the Christians I've seen that do funerals, the casket is always, it's always a kind of it's not just a wood, it's not just like the wooden casket and they just put you in there.
Maybe, most Nigerians don't write wills. Most Nigerians don't, most Nigerians fear death. They don't embrace death. They don't talk about it. Most people don't have will. If you write will, they have will have not died since. So
I think I saw a post.
A lot of people don't. So if you have those kind of things, you can easily state that, okay, this is what I want. Personally, I don't even like burial. I like cremation, or just bury the person like that. So like person's body will just the way God said, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You just go instead of all those you are putting chemical. The person will stay like this. He will stay like that. He will go back. You understand? So they're just different. But if you don't state these things, if you don't say nobody, and I keep telling people that a will speaks for you when you can no longer speak
for yourself.
It doesn't mean you are going to die. Nigerians still fear. So it's not a big deal.
Do they have cremation in Nigeria now?
They have. They've always had cremation.
I'm sure they've always had.
Anywhere there is Indian people, you must cremate. So there's there.
Anywhere
India they must cremate. So once India is around, it's possible.
I'm sure they've always had, actually.
They've always had.
They've always had.
It's not just. I think it's kind of getting popular now.
It's not just popular.
Yeah, but I think
it was Ebola. Ebola made it popular because people that died of Ebola had to be cremated. I think the first few people in coronavirus, I think, as well. Because before they started, they could bury. Yeah,
it's kind of popular now because I've known at least quite a few aunties of mine who have said, put some things in their will that should they pass, they would like to be cremated. And they live in Nigeria. So
and you tell your close friends. But people now, in fact, the way burials are done in Nigeria now, some people, in fact, you will see the brochure, they write family only. They don't follow people to burial ground anymore. People should go and be eating rice in the hall. From the church, go and be eating rice. It's just the family. Now, people are beginning to understand that burial is a private moment, it's a moment for just also. Like at the same time, it's what is understanding. Some people like it, some people not like it. And some people, some families, there are just some mad people around. Some people say, let's do it quietly. Some people say, no, I want to make money. I want to make money. I want to make, there are some families that some people even I've heard of family that they drag body. They are dragging body from mortuary to mortuary, dragging because some people want it buried in this way, some people want that. So this is what they will easily solve. But no, our Nigerian people, even people that are old, they don't have will. Old people, they don't have will. So you see, our problem is plenty.
Okay, Jude, let me just come back to you. And again, I know I made mention that I know you've lost your mom, and if you had the opportunity, would you do that? Given how this funeral was really, I don't want to use the word blown out of proportion because maybe it was proportionate to how they wanted it, given the kind of people they are and their lifestyle. But as you know, that now became the headquarters for Oloshos. All the Oloshos in Nigeria were there that weekend to go and collect. And you saw videos on Instagram where people had picked the money, they came back home and they were counting how much they had picked. Now, do you not think that was disrespectful to the mother that had passed away? And do you not think it kind of removed the something that was meant to be solemn? It became really, blown out of proportion, where the people were no longer thinking of the mother, but they were thinking of the money, how much they would be able to pick from the ground, how much they would be able to make from attending the funeral that weekend. And again, people making videos saying that a lot of prostitutes are here and your girlfriends are not where they should be and all of that. Is that not disrespectful to the dead?
I think I don't know whether it's disrespectful to the dead. Again, the dead did not write. I don't know her whether she wrote a will. If she wrote a will and didn't put all of this in the will, then it would have been disrespectful to her blessed soul. But If she didn't write nothing down, then I don't think it's any disrespect to her. But you need to go back again to historical cultures. The southern part of Nigeria, with their animistic behaviors, they've always had this relationship with burial, different. You could be as poor as a lamb alive, and they'll take you out of this world rich because of the culture which says the bigger the burial, the gate will be open there. You have a place.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fact. I grew up with all of these stories.
Really?
So, especially in the southeast, well, it's the south, it's the whole south region, southwest, southeast, but big in the southeast because they believed the bigger the burial, the passageway will be open, the gods, the different names of the gods. But it's what has been handed down, so you can then see the relationship. Another thing, Ajike touched on it. You've just mentioned it. Burial from day one, and I know much about burial, has been about recouping money that you spend. You spend money for jollof rice, you spend money for musicians, man. They want to recoup. I've seen people calculate all the money they sprayed and they say, wow, we got it back. So it's about recouping. Don't forget the attitude of, no, there's nothing wrong with it, per se. Don't forget, prior to all these times, we don't, in gift giving, we're not the type who's so good at boxing a gift and come give you a home. So this was a form of them giving you gift. You could go to the big man or the big woman then and say, you cry hunger, and they won't give you anything. But you lost a child or you're doing a birthday, they will come and spray. That's the gift. That's the way they give people gifts. So that's the way they know it. Meanwhile, some people are very reserved about it. Instead of them to come spray all of this, they will give you in an envelope, £2,000, hold that. Meanwhile, the guy is spraying $1, they end up spraying just $30 and it's loud on Instagram. But they've given you $2,000. So again, it comes to traditional influences and your culture. So the aspect of, I don't want to use the word Olosho, but it's better. That's denigrating to the women who they call Olosho. The guys, what were the guys there? The guys were all marabouts. They were worse than the boys were the real Oloshos there. They were all and they were poverty-minded boys. From the Zubi Michael to the Kanayo. If Kanayo doesn't have respect for himself, when Kanayo was making movies, what's his name? Obi Kubana would be still wearing drawers, and he's there saying, "Come with your wife." This. That was disrespectful to their own character. But again, we come from Nigeria where nobody can be cancelled. If he was in a sane climate, Kanayo will be regretting why he said those things. But this tells you the relationship that we have between the different sexes in Nigeria. It's not really disrespectful to the woman. I'm pretty sure she would have loved what happened because again, it's the influences from the people in that area. If you know them, go back and look, find out about Emeka Ezeogo, Nwude, Sir Michael Kwara, who was our first finance minister. These guys they lived extravagantly and they go extravagantly, just like this. Obi Kubana owns small. Very, very small. Yeah, and it won't be the last. Another one is coming that will be bigger than it. Because we have social media now to magnify it to the whole of the world.
Exactly.
So that's the only difference. When Ezego did his own, when Ezego did things, oh my God, they closed down the whole space.
Man, Ezego's word was ballistic.
These guys, man, they live like this. So Obi Kubana would have grown in that system that saw all of them. Like, that's what I'm doing for mom.
I even know girls who dated Ezego that time.
Mom would have had a discussion with him. If I go, this is how I'm going. No, if you don't don't let my neighbors be slapping me there. People have this conversation. You think it's innocent, but it remains in your head like, okay, this is what mom wanted. So some of us write the will. Some of us say this, state all of these things, and they still serve as your will. Like me, I tell my people, my wife here, and it's in my will that when I die, like Ajike said, give me some few hours to really know say I don't die. One of my friends was almost buried alive. And he was buried alive. My friend's father was buried alive too because they declared him quick. So I said, give me a few hours to die. And the reason I want cremation is to ensure that I've died because I hate that.
If I touch you, you go wake.
I don't want to be put in a box and I start struggling in that box. I have that nightmare that I will struggle in the box.
God.
But you're saying you want cremation, but what if they do the cremation and you're not really dead and you're locked because you know that cremation when you go into that thing, they can't hear you again.
The thing about it, before they do the cremation, hold on, before they do the cremation, they're saying things that they need to do. So you would have made sure that you have died. Where? Because my mother was cremated.
And so those of you that are saying you want cremation, when they cremate you, what do they do with the ashes? Bring it home and leave it
anywhere now. Anything they want to do, I don't care. They shouldn't give anybody. They should throw it and just do praise the Lord, hallelujah, it has finished. Yes, what they want us to do.
So you wouldn't want them to bring it home and just have it there
And do what? And do what? And do what? I keep telling people, say, the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. There's nothing you bring, there's nothing I'm going to take away.
Yeah,
All those half-ass, you now put the cremation inside one bottle, one on, they will not be entering. Oh, see a Jew, see this person. For what?
But
Move on.
just bury the pot. Bury my pot somewhere.
They don't need to bury the pot. Just go to one river and just spray the thing. Let the thing be going. Maybe some fishes will eat it.
Let me go in peace.
Okay, let me come to Mr. Jabajantis, Yori, and Ajike, because you guys are the Yoruba in the house, right? I know, Jude, you've spoken about the Igbos and saying that this is very pertinent to their culture and this is how they do things. So, Mr. Jabajantis, you're Yoruba, right? Is this how you guys do funerals as well? Or is it just who has money and wants to show, then go for it?
Who has money, you know? It's how you have money, you will do your
That
thing. And now you have class.
It depends on, Jabadanti, it depends on the area. Their area celebration. Ijebu people are different.
Okay.
Our people are different. Lagos people are mad. It depends on the region. You understand? So ours is not like, south. It depends on the region. Like my mom is from Kwara State. Their burial is so easy, blah, 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 blah. Our people now, they're on another level. Do you understand? So, and Ijebu people are on another level. So it depends on the region. It depends.
Kwara is not really south. Kwara is kind of conservative enough for me.
Yeah, but you see, my mom is like the Yoruba side in Kwara.
Of the Kwaras, okay.
So they're very, very conservative with the way they do their burials. But you know what? We do a 7-day stretch.
Exactly.
You understand? Day upon day, and they're doing different things on different things. So it depends on it. Now, Ijebu people are another niche of human beings. Their own party is out of this world.
Mm-hmm.
Ondo people will not borrow you money to send your child to school, but someone dies, they will borrow you money. They will help you look for the money.
It's the same.
So it depends on the area. Now, being a Yoruba person, Owambe is always in our blood.
Mm-hmm.
So we always look at it as a way to celebrate. Now, if we have the level of money Obi Kubana has, now it would depend on the kind of crowd you move with.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember when
black and simple.
I remember, like you said, we Yoruba. I remember when my grandfather died and we did the burial. That was 1991. The old town was shut down. We had uniforms and co at different levels.
Mm-hmm.
The children, different level of anko. And this is not limited to the family alone. The old town. You know, the streets could not contain us. We had to use a secondary school.
Imagine.
The whole secondary school. So in different classrooms over that weekend were different families, pots, cooler, different kind of food, different canopy, different artists, you know. And I'm talking about 1991. I was in SS1 then. So the children, they had different uniforms, and every other friend and family in that age group, the ones in secondary school, the ones in higher institution who were mature at the time, the parents, the business partners, you know, it was crazy. It was crazy. But the way they were spending money then is different from the way guys are doing things now, you know. But the truth of the matter is, where is your money coming from? How are you spending it? What are you doing back for the community? You know, all these things will just put you on the map, and everybody will start digging about your name. What's his name? What does he do? Okay, nightclub. How many nightclubs in Nigeria? Okay, so if they're making 1 billion per night,
which is not possible.
You know, impossible.
Exactly. That's what Yori said. That's what Yori said. Because there in my job, there is something we call profiling. That profiling, the moment you turn yourself to a subject of discussion, and I'm either coming to work for you, work with you, or working for the agencies, there is something we call profiling, and then we'll start digging about your name.
Yes.
If you think nobody knows about you, that lie. It is because you're not on the map yet. The moment you put yourself on the map, you have explanations to do. And if the Nigerian ones are being in denial. They don't want to do something because somebody has a link with you who is in the politics area. The people outside will do it for you, like they
They've
did.
already done it. They've already done it, which is so unfortunate for him as a businessman. The last thing you need is scrutiny from outside the nation. Because for every money he touches now, for every business deal he touches, most business partners, if I was a business partner, I would not want to do business with Obi Cubana.
Yeah, you don't want to be seen there.
I don't want to be seen. And another thing I'm sure Celia will touch on it as we close up is the rate of crime that increased followed this guy's mom's funeral.
Oh yeah.
Where young, impressionable men and women, there was a time where they threw money into the swimming pool. And there were girls that leaped into the pool. There was one girl that could not swim. Just because she wanted to catch money. And we've seen boys that are willing to now kill their mothers. To make money. I'm not saying Obi Cubana is president of Nigeria, blah, 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 but what you do at that level impact on the people beneath you. It's come to a place now where we need to now be more responsible. We've got irresponsible governance. As human beings, let us be responsible. Now, boys are willing to now kill anybody to make the level of money that he has.
I know. Was it Kanayo or Yul Edochie? One of the two came out and even said,
Yul Edochie.
And said that a lot of people in his DM saying to him, how can they make money? What do they need to do? They're ready to do anything.
Jaruma,
whatever.
Kayamaka girl.
Exactly.
Her DM is filled with girls that want to land Obi Cubana. You don't think, okay,
does it not show that our market is fake? Does it not show?
You just look at our value system. Look at our value system. Sorry, Jude. I'll let you do. I just want to talk about our value system. Like, look, we have a problem. We have serious problem. Sorry, Jude.
Isn't it condescending though? Where if it was Obi Cubana that was dancing and people were spraying him money, okay, fair enough. Even though they've said that's illegal, but hey, just you that went to attend the funeral and people are now throwing money at you and you're rushing to pick the money. Where is our pride in that?
Look, there was one man that was able to gather 100,000 at that weekend, and he said he was going to start a business with it. At the party, he was showing it on social media. Someone threw him a whole bundle. And the guy said he's been trying to, I think, open a bike business or open a tea business or something. This money will go. There were some winners at the weekend who were able to go on and do stuff with that. But it is what it is. There's no job. There's no blah, blah, blah. So you don't expect people not to run. They killed 400 cows. There was food. At least that weekend, some people are guaranteed of a decent meal. So it's a catch-22, to be honest.
And did you see the people that were fighting over the carcass of the cow and the ram and the goat that were killed? People were literally struggling and fighting for it, trying to grab a piece.
There's meat inside the bone now.
Jude, you wanted to say something.
What do you mean? Ashamegu meat. It's a very sweet meat too. Let them fight for it. Like she said, it's true. It's not matter is that there's poverty. There's poverty in the land. So some people will fight for those kind of things. Me, I might not go and fight for it. I can go and buy that kind of bone in the market. Yes, I like bone. I like it. I like meat with bone. But it is what it is. They have to, they were assured of a meal. At least if they have that kind of, they'll cook one nice pot of soup or whatever for some time they're okay. But everybody has said it's just our value system is, how can I be living Lagos? I'm saying I'm going to Oba to go and be cashing money. It's a difference if I'm living around that place. I just trek. Okay, they are throwing money. Okay, let's trek and collect the money. How would I live in Lagos? How would I live in Lagos? How would I even live? Let's even live on Olosho. There's some people are not even Olosho. Some people are not Olosho. Some people just went and said, I want to go and catch money. Some people did that. So for me, it's just, what if you die on the road? What will you take? Want to go and cash money, about what? I don't know.
I just think that is just make-believe, honestly. For anyone without no alternatives or without no real need to go there, just to say, oh, I'm spending 30,000 naira to enter public transport to go and make 100,000 naira.
A lot of people did though.
Wait now, you see those girls that we saw that were posting videos, counting money from mobile, sitting down, opening their legs like this, doing like this. All those girls, they just went to do runs. If you don't have anything to offer, why will you go there and say you want to go and rush in front of a musician to pick money? What about the population in the town already?
But having said that, this is not unique to our people. That's what I want you to know. When
Of
they have
course.
the Cannes, when they have the movie festival in France, Cannes, near Nice, I was opportune to be in that area. I met some people, and they look what we call them Olosho today. We call them socialites or socialites. Around because they know men and women know we'll have Johnny Depp around, we'll have the top
Orlando
guys.
Bloom.
We'll have the top guys from Motown be around. So these guys will be hanging around. They'll be hanging around the nearby clubs, hang around the nearby hotels. So I'll flaunt what I've got, and I'll draw some attention. It happens everywhere.
It happens everywhere. Now, even if you go to the club in Lagos here, you see them now. It was even club. Go and drink. Which day was this? Me and my younger sister with our husbands, we went. We're all just eating pepper soup, fish, and all this kind of things. You just see some girls, they just come with their bag and they just sit down. The next thing, you just see them in the next table with the men back. How are you people doing this thing?
So it is not because they want to go and pick money. It is because they're coming there to do business.
Of course.
And whilst they are doing the business, if the money falls near them, they can also just pick it up.
Of course.
Yes, now even if for they give them.
There is a conference we normally go to America to do, OTC conference, Offshore Oil Technology Conference. You need to come and see Niger American big girls, Jamaican big girls, Black Americans trooping to Houston, Texas at the time of that conference. It is not because we will be at the club at night and spray money or buy. The moment they start seeing the big champagne bottles with the sparklights on it coming to your table, you will be shocked how these girls will be around your table. And the next thing, they are adjusting their cleavage and everything. They're there to do business, not because they want to come and pick the bottle covers or glass cups or the leftovers. No, they're there to do business with the guys. Because when you're going to your hotels, you want to go with a babe with Bobby or something. You need to come and see these girls. I still have videos. I was sending it to my wife.
Right, just
sending, so that's what they're doing in Oba.
Just before I round up, did you guys see the video of the pastor who came out to criticize what Obi Cubana did? And not very long after, he did another video and took it back and suddenly said Obi Cubana is his in-law. His wife is from Anambra State. And he took back what he said before. I mean, where's the integrity in that?
Who is the pastor?
He's a hungry pastor.
They give them money to shut him up.
I can't remember.
Who is the pastor?
I can't remember who.
I didn't even hear it. But who is the pastor? There's integrity and there's integrity. So there's not everybody that is pastor. People used to just give it to big name. So everybody that is pastor. So everybody that is imam. If you just say somebody,
No, but
those people are hustlers.
The guy explained why he did what he did.
Yeah.
And I think you see, we were just talking about the value system of our country. This is somebody who's turned around to apologize and was saying maybe he wasn't right doing it. No, I think what he did was very right. He spoke prematurely about the whole situation, used some wrong words. And when information became available to him that this man gave 350 people, whether it's true or not, $1 million each, and he's done this and that and that.
That's
no, I'm not disputing whether it's true or not. But when that information came to this guy was able to then say, apologies. The reason he used the in-law, again, you need to go back to the way we talk and the way our cultures and traditions.
Our own culture is true.
If I'm married an Igbo woman and Jagojet is married an Igbo woman, we call ourselves in-law. It's fine. So that's why I use that term. It's not necessarily because it's close to them. It might have been threatened. But when we talk about our value system, this is not OB is not the reason why crime will go up. It's been there, especially in that part of the world. When the colonial masters were still ruling us, that's where the first concern came about Nigerians sending money to India to buy mysterious water and mysterious clothes to get money. Obi Cubana is not the first. He's just a long line of the dying breed. It's been going on. So the value system did just become what it is because of Obi. Africans have had this kind of attitude towards money that spiritually the money will disappear. Most of the pastors did it. Our brother Apostle Suleiman just gave spiritual money somewhere in America. I don't know. I received my own too. I thought it was from Hush Puppy, but it turned out it was from Suleiman. So you see, spiritual money.
Okay, just before I round up, did we, Mr. Jabodant, I believe you posted a video of Honorable Ibrahim Abuna, who's a federal lawmaker, spraying money to people. I don't know where he was, but he was spraying money at people, and people were in the compound picking the money up as well. Okay, so again, that's a federal lawmaker, and I believe that there is a law that says spraying money is now illegal because people, they need to respect the naira. But this is a federal lawmaker doing exactly what he should not be doing. But anyway, on that note, I think we need to end it here. I think we've said what we can say about the whole situation. And at the end of the day, you know, some people can call it slave mentality. Some people can call it poverty in the land. It's just sad that, you know, Nigeria, where we are today, and our image in the world is not respected at all. I mean, that also came through in the Olympics. But anyway, we're not going to go into that. But it's very sad that we are now where we are. And I used to love that Nigeria was the giant of Africa. And when I see people saying, "Oh, Nigeria," especially you, Jude, on social media, you're always bashing Nigeria and saying Nigeria is not the giant of Africa. We are the tortoise of Africa. Well, the this and that. It really upsets me because I just feel like
I'm saying they should not call themselves giant because giants moves very slow. They should
call themselves
antelopes move very fast.
Yeah.
And cheetah and rabbits, they move fast.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
true.
why we're slow, because
that's why we're stagnant. True. Yeah. So anyway, on that note, we're gonna end it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget we're Pop Central every Sunday at 9 o'clock. Channel 189 on DSTV. If you're in Nigeria or Africa. But if you're in Europe, Asia, America, wherever, you can download the Popping by Pop Central app, where you can join us every Sunday evening to watch our videos. On that note, thank you guys for trashing with us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.